Hi guys, I don't really know what to say. Obviously I haven't really done much in the way of social media over the last few months. There's just been a lot going on, as with everyone at the moment. A lot of ups and downs, stuff like that. But I something just really got to me, and I felt like something needed to be said. I don't really get triggered by many things other than like myself, anything like that. But there's just certain things that people do that don't trigger me, but I guess when you just get so annoyed that you don't even know the words for it. So for that reason, I kind of thought, you know what, I'm just gonna chat and see what happens. Completely unedited video, it's probably not going to be that good, but like I said, it just needs to be said. And I really hope that people don't mind me doing this. So today someone posted a really innocent thing of them having alcohol whilst early on in a recovery process, obviously on various medication, antidepressants, antipsychotics, whatever. They were celebrating Pride, celebrating a friend's birthday, just having a good time, and someone decides to comment saying that they're a bad role model because of having a good time, and that no wonder why someone's relapsing because of that, and surely that's why they end up in A&E or admitted or aren't getting better, and are a bad influence for younger people, and stuff like that really gets to me, especially from the general population. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it is stigmatism, it's shame, it's ignorance, to put it bluntly. But when it's from a professional or someone who says they're a professional, that makes you worry about who's working in the system. I guarantee 99% probably of people in the mental health system, whether that's primary care, whether that's secondary care, voluntary stuff, sectioning, whatever, you're not always going to get on with professionals. You're not. You're always going to get that one or two professionals that you don't quite click with, or you have different opinions on things about and stuff like that. I did a degree in psychology, which was also brought into question as to whether I am a psychologist and actually do the job that I do. But feel free to Google because I'm on there. Not that I should have to clarify that to anyone, but that's another story. And it just, I've had it where professionals have said to me, oh well, you're feeling this way because you've been doing this, or you've had that bit of alcohol, or something like that, and have literally spent a whole appointment making assumptions about me when it wasn't anything. So it's like, for example, a few weeks ago, a little while ago, I had someone that saw that I'd had alcohol on my notes, and literally spent 10 minutes ranting to me about how alcohol has negative effects. No wonder why I feel the way I do. No wonder why everything's going on, whatever. And she went on this horrendous rant that made me feel like leftover dog crap on the side of a street that someone had just trod in. And I literally just turned to her and I went, I wasn't even intoxicated. I had a glass of wine. But they asked me if I drank, and that's what I said. I had a glass of wine. I hadn't downed a bottle. I haven't, I haven't purposely got drunk because I needed to not feel something or whatever. It was unwinding at the end of a really crap day, which is a normal human thing to do. It doesn't have to be about an illness. It doesn't have to be about anything. And I think what people forget is one of the most important things for recovery is how holding on to a sense of normality. One of the reasons why a lot of people do go back to hospital if they have been admitted or like a rehab centre or something like that, if they've done their sole stint of treatment in a rehabilitation centre or a psychiatric unit or whatever, they are then psychologically recovering in that environment, if you get that. So they're connected to that environment of, oh, okay, I'm doing well here. I've got the team I need. I've met these people. I've done this, done that, whatever. And as soon as they're then, I don't like to say it, but released back into the community, that's when things get rocky and people start relapsing, whether it's drugs, alcohol, whether it's self-harm, negative behaviours, whatever, because then going back into the real world is overwhelming because they haven't done that recovery process yet in that community setting. And that's why you have people like me and other people in community teams to then help bring that recovery into society. People, in order to recover, you need a sense of normality to put the human back into you. It's literally helping with your sanity. There is a difference between having a drinking problem and using it as a coping mechanism, using it negatively, and between having a sense of real life and having that half an hour, evening, whatever, to go, you know what, I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm doing well in my recovery, and this is part of my recovery, to connect with my friends, to connect with people, to remember what it was like to enjoy certain things before I got on well. Do you get that? I'm not being stupid, right? I don't even know why it annoys me so much, but like, I've met countless professionals that I worry about how many professionals I've come across that seem to tarnish everyone with the same brush. The first thing we do in mental health is say how unique mental health is. With physical health, it's really, really difficult sometimes to obviously, process of elimination, working out medications, stuff like this. Physical illness is difficult. But it's like, if you've got a broken leg, there's only a set amount of things you can do to fix that broken leg. It's either a cast or it's surgery. That's sort of like it. Whereas mental illness, like take BPD for example, borderline personality disorder. Just in that one condition, there are 295 ways for someone to present, and each one of those presentations can be on this massive spectrum from mild to most severe. That's like nearly 1,000 ways. Well, it'll be well over 1,000 ways someone can present. You never know, in which case medication's different, treatments are different, everything is completely different, and yet some professionals decide that it's okay to then go, oh, okay, well, we're going to make an assumption about why you've done something, why you feel a certain way. We're going to tell you that, oh, well, it's just this or it's just that. No. The thing is, it's forgotten that people with mental illness are actually their own... I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically, they're the best person for their illness, if that makes sense, as to take time to listen to people. Read between the lines. Don't go in there making an assumption when you're then treating something that person doesn't even need. I know I've had it where I've recently had conversations with professionals because I was getting annoyed that they were trying to treat me for something that wasn't even an issue for me when I was actually really, really struggling with other stuff. But because they were the professionals in the instance, my voice was taken out of it. It makes it worse because when you're mentally unwell, or even, not even necessarily unwell, but if you have a mental health condition, even if you are well, one of the biggest fears you have is the fear of losing control. Mental illness is obviously, it's in the mind, and that's the most valuable organ we have. And if you're losing control of that, and then other people are trying to take that control away from you and giving you nothing, how do you think people feel about that? Like, has anyone ever actually thought about that? It just really gets to me. Like, I don't even know, like, what else to say, to be honest. But it's more the fact of, like, you just need to listen to people. And I'm going to explain this a bit just because I feel like some people might get the wrong impression of the terms. But there's a difference between mentally unwell and mentally incompetent. Mentally unwell, you can be unwell, but you can still be of sound enough mind to make the decisions for yourself. You understand what's going on. Even if you're like, I don't know, in a psychotic episode and you're not really sure about reality and being sectioned and that, you're still not really mentally incompetent unless, depending on, obviously if you're extremely severe then yes, but sometimes, like, I know that I've had a few things where it could be seen as sort of like a psychotic episode, but I was still aware of what was going on and I could control certain things enough where I could say what was going on, listen to instructions from professionals, and work on a treatment plan. I was mentally unwell, not mentally incapacitated or incompetent or anything like that. Whereas if you're mentally incapacitated, that means that you have literally, you're in that moment in time, you're so far out of your mind that you can't make decisions that are going to benefit you. You know, you can't comprehend what a decision means, and anything like that. And in those cases, yes, we obviously need to section people if they're a risk themselves, or at least get them as much support as possible in order to keep safety and build kind of relationships and movements forward. But before that, you just, like, if someone's mentally unwell, you talk to them. Like, I had a professional recently that I actually found it was one of the best sessions I'd had, and out of the hour she was here, we spent 25-30 minutes in silence. She could see that I was getting anxious, she could see that I was getting agitated, she was this, she was that, but she could see that forcing me to talk wouldn't help because I didn't know what to say. She knew that I wanted to talk, but I needed that time to be able to comprehend, like almost kind of get my emotions together and unmuddle my thoughts to be able to talk to her in a reasonable manner rather than kind of it being all over the place and sporadic. So we sat in silence. We just took some time to be in the moment, and although no words were exchanged in that 25 or so minutes, I felt the most listened to and understood the whole time I'd been with this treatment team, you know, and I think that says something. I don't really know what to say, but I just think that we need to. The key thing you can do is listen and be open and non-judgmental and stop making fucking assumptions. And yes, I just said that word, but sometimes it's really called for. I'm sorry, it is. And I'm ashamed by some professionals because in this industry, it's not a job you're in for the money. To be honest, the money's quite crap. You're not in it for the money. You know, you're in it because you want to help and you want to understand and you want to work with people. So why don't you actually trying to understand people and listen to them? Yeah. I could go on for hours on this. But I'm gonna leave it there, to be honest, because like I said, I could go on for hours, and I'm really sorry that it's a long, literally just a massive rant, and yeah, I just let me know, share the video, whatever. I hope it kind of gives something to people and is something that people feel needs to be said. And gives you a bit of insight and stuff. I was thinking of doing a video on like triggers and warning signs and symptoms and stuff like that as well, both personally and as a professional. So let me know if you guys would like that as well. And I hope you're all doing alright in these really, really challenging times, to say the least. And yeah, that's it. So thank you.